haven't done a video for a little while, we've just been busy, but today we're going to do just a quick flight in the new sim 2024. I've been playing around with it a little bit, obviously starting to make scenery adjustments in that for the current scenery I've got, so I'll just get it started. Just take the covers off. No, take the rotor ones off. Must be the front one I've got to take off. Just need to see if there's no more covers, because you can do pre-flights in this one, so you can walk around and take off all the covers if you start cold and dark. Right, doesn't seem to be anything else, I'll jump in. So we've got real world weather on, so I'll just do an auto start here. We're just going to fly the default R66 today because it's got good visibility and it flies pretty nicely. There's a few things obviously that need tweaking. Slowly starting. It's got pretty good sounds, this thing. It's got that real whispery sort of sound that typical of Robinson helicopters. What have I got on the lights? Turn my strobe on. Avionics are on. So we'll just take off from here and we'll fly down to Otapua and Mangamaire and possibly go across to the Boyd and stop there just to see what it's like with this, but it looks like it could be a bit marginal weather, so I'd be quite curious to see how good it is flying in this sort of weather in VR in the new one. Okay, I think we're running nicely now. I'll just position my earpieces down and wind the throttle up. Governor's on. There's the windsock. Can't actually see the windsock just around the corner. I could actually just hop out here though and walk over and have a look. Okay, so we're sort of coming from their northwesterly direction. Yeah, I'll just while we're out, I'll just show back and show how different the sounds are. You get whether it's going to show or not. Turbine fumes. Right, we'll climb back in. We've got our co-pilot with us, and we'll lift off out of here and we'll get going. Right, and we'll just sort of take off out this way into the wind. Quite dark and overcast. It's just more like the experience you could get in 2020 if you're running the Active Sky mod. So the clouds have got a lot more thickness to them in 24 by the look of it, compared to what they were default in 2020. Pretty marginal down the Kaipo Valley, so we'll cut up over this ridge and drop down towards Otapua, and we'll go to the Mangamaire because this is some of the scenery I've updated for 2024 from 2020. Got a scanned Mangamaire hut now, and I aim to add in another 12 or so scanned huts throughout the Kaimana Makauekas in the first 6 months of the new year as well. actually worthwhile having the scanned huts with the full interior now, because the fact in this one you can hop out, so you can actually do a bit of recce and see what the hut should be a pretty accurate sort of a rendition then of what is in those actual spots. It's supposed to really pour down this afternoon, so I'm picking that's why it's so overcast now. It's pretty black. Good fun out for a fly in the sim though. Speed up down to there a little bit so we can get down there a bit quicker. We're doing 195 knots basically. We're about as fast as we can go. Should be coming up on Otapua shortly. The good thing with this one too, it's got the dust effects are all built in by default. You don't have to have the sim effects running, and it's a really good indicator of which way the wind's blowing when you're off away from any sort of concrete landing areas. I've just put a little bit of extra aerial imagery just here for Otapua. I was just trialling out some different methods of doing scenery development. The default mesh in the 24 version is definitely better than what it was in 2020. The aerial imagery is a little bit sharper in a lot of places. We've got a bit of a tailwind here. I felt like I was getting pushed into the hut, so I'll just try and hold it here. Just dump it on the ground. Yeah, sort of you can actually really see which way it's blowing. So we'll take off, and we won't bother going into this one. We'll just take off from here. Try and get out of here. Climb back out into the wind. Shoot across to Mangamaire. A bit of an open blue bit sky just up there. Visually in VR, it actually looks a lot better in some of the same areas by default than what it did in 2020, just with the extra ground vegetation and the way they do where it's steep. They put in a cliff texture now to make it really look like it is a cliff. Oh, she's a black sky out that way. That tree's a bit randomly placed. I'll just land here at Mangamaire and I'll show you the scanned hut. I'll just put this at a ground idle. Okay, so it's idling down. It's going to take a couple of minutes to walk in. So we'll just, the helicopter's sitting there on the landing pad, and we'll just walk into the hut. This has been upgraded over above the 2020 version, so this is now a full photogrammetry hut. There's always a few artifacts with photogrammetry, but you get an overall a better look of what's there. So if we walk into the hut, mattress out there, gas bottle. Yeah, you see there's a few holes and things in there, but overall it gives you, it's the scales right, it gives you a really good you know, a bit of a look at what's in the back country. So the more I'm trying to add in to give you a bit more to go and explore in back country New Zealand in the sun. Right, it's got to try and turn here to go back to the helicopter. All the vegetation, like it's all moves with the wind effects, and it's all collidable too, so you can't fly through it with a helicopter as such either. Yeah, I can't actually walk through here. Or maybe I'll crouch down, see if I can crawl underneath. No, I can't. I'm going to get stuck here, so I might have to go back out. Walk around. Once they get multiplayer working correctly, at the moment it's a little bit hit and miss as to if it works properly or not, but because you make up your own custom characters for this, so when you hop out, if you land at a clearing with one of your mates in their helicopter in the sim as well, you'll see them hop out and walk around, and they're all like uniquely different to how you've set them up. Alright, let's hop in. Just get us spooled up again. There we go. Okay, see if we can find some rain to fly through on the way back. Just use the airstrip to take off on. There was a little bit of artifacting along the skyline there. That's probably where the weather's interacting with the sky and the clouds just a little bit, which I think 2020 had at the start for a while too. So it's probably something that they'll get fixed. It's actually feeling quite dark. I might just turn the landing light on. We'll start sneaking up this ridge and get across towards the void. Wind will be off our right there, so we should get a bit of an updraft on this side because it's a lot more noticeable and pronounced, the turbulence effects in this one over 2020. Oh, there's a big rain shower out here and through Jack Creek by the look of it. looks real miserable up that way. And it's still fairly clear under the cloud base back down Poronui Valley. The atmospherics and the lighting have definitely been improved. This looks so much better in VR, like visually now, flying around. Just resetting my view there. Oh yeah, we've got a little bit of light coming through that pole up above us there. Back end of Oamaru private block. I think that must be the bivvy down there. That shower's blowing through Jap Creek now by the look of it. Done a bit of manual tree correction around some of the kamenos. I still haven't finished it all yet, but it's so they like used the wrong biome type, I think, for this area. They had too many sort of pines standing up. I know there are the odd wilding pine, but they had it so it looked like it was almost semi old pine forest. There was that many pine trees. It's probably a bit coming up, you might see a little bit of that, but all of this here I've been through and replaced all the trees now. Looks a lot better, a bit more like New Zealand bush. Probably actually in the Tusk Valley by the look, the one valley over. We might as well land at the Tusk Hut while we're here. There's the Tusk Saddle just there. So we just around this corner, I think. And we're back into wind again now, so we're going to get a little bit swirly just in the lee of the hill here, I'd say. We'll drop out of here. Once we land here, we'll drop across into the Boyd and we'll finish up there. Yeah, I'm running out of power just about in the hover there because of the downdraft coming off that ridge. I guess I'll do us. Oh, it's a Tusk Hut. Just get into that wind and see if we can climb here. Do a max performance takeoff to get out of here. Gonna have to circle back, I'd say. I don't think I'm going to make it up this gully, but we'll go up the left side and come back around the right if we have to. contrast there actually. That gave us a bit of lift. We're running out of power again. We can make it through here. It's so much better low level over the trees now. They look really, really good with the 3D tree models now. Shower coming through down to the south there. Almost looks like there might be a bit of a shower going through at the void as well. See, our ground speed's not very fast here. This is we're doing about 80 indicated, but I have a feeling there's quite some breezy wind around up here. Just going to climb up and have a little look at those rocks above the void. Yes, hell of the gusts coming through now. Actually, since we're this far, we might as well land at Tusk instead of the void, because we're already up just about at the top of the ridge here. Running out of forward speed here. Get into this wind a bit. Go out through this gap over here, I think. Doesn't look like we're going to make it up to that rock with just with our turbulence around it. I might get up this side actually. We'll just circle back around for a quick look at it. Pretty impressive to see in VR, like when you land on it, the just the level. I'm not going to be able to land on it today, it's too rough. Already, see, look at that downdraft, trying to apply power here and I'm not going anywhere. I have to get back on the other side of that ridge. Go a crosswind here and then turn back into it through this gap. Makes it a lot more fun to fly though when there's a little bit more challenges thrown at you. Yeah, as you can see over there is some area I haven't touched where you can see the tree lines need adjusting to match. There's areas where it's no trees at all. I thought the AI that they've got utilised for the placing the autogen trees and that might have been a little bit more accurate than what it is in places, but I guess it's the whole world we're talking about here, so. Drop out, there's the north arm up that way. Actually, since we're this far, I just about might as well fly into the Mangamaire Saddle, because I've put another aerial texture down there I'm just experimenting with, so I haven't actually tested it in VR yet, so I might just do that while I'm in here. Just come into Tusk Hut and land there. It's going to be a tailwind though, so I might come in from over top of the crew quarters, I think. Actually, yeah, it's coming from the other way this time down here a little bit. Right, we might as well have a quick look at the Tavori Ruruhau while we're here. I haven't actually tested this out in VR either. We'll have to dodge all the dust clouds. Actually, I wonder if I can just move the camera around. It'll save us having to use the walking mode. Alright, we'll go back to the helicopter. Before that next lot of rain comes in, spool up. I'm going to lean into the wind a little bit here. A little bit of fly past Mangamaire as we go through. And we'll shut it down at Mangamaire Saddle. I'm quite curious just to see how good I put in some the highest resolution stuff I could find on the Lin's website just as a test to see what it looks like in the sim. Like you can see down there's a lot more clarity to this than what there was in 2020. The Mangamaire. I hadn't loaded in, but it is there. See if we can make it through the saddle up here. Looks like the weather might just allow us to sneak through the Mangamaire Saddle. Keep climbing now so we don't try and get interference with that downdraft as we approach it. The couple of little flights I've already had so far in the sim, I haven't really played in any add-on helicopters or anything yet, but the default 66 and the AS350 and the Cabri seem pretty good. There's a few things obviously that aren't realistic, they need tweaking, and they've gone backwards on some areas, but overall they're pretty high attention to detail with the actual model and that, and the sounds. But it's flying around in it. The smoothness is something I just can't get over in VR. It's probably some of the best experience VR flight sim I've ever had in Flight Sim 24 compared to any other sim I've ever tried in the past. They've still got a lot of work to do to fix little bugs and things, but yeah, this is early days. This is a pretty impressive sim. Yeah, you can see the little pine trees what I was talking about poking up all out here because I haven't fixed them out that way. We've got a downdraft here quite badly. Just come around into the creek bed here. We are quite high up here. We're coming up sort of around about the 5,000 feet though, so we're yeah, a bit of wind and a bit of downdraft. We'll be running out of power pretty quick. I think we've just gone over the boundary where I've added in some high resolution lens aerial photo. It just needs a slight coloration change. It looks like the contrast needs adjusting just a touch. Really battling this headwind coming up here, I think. This doesn't feel like we're doing much ground speed. Clearer up this way though. A low cloud blowing up into that little gully. Look at the downdraft before this ridge. Will it pick up on the other side maybe? Not going to adjust anything and just see what happens. Yeah, look at that. Look at the speed, vertical speed indicator. I do it coming up the airstrip ridge too. It's so interesting just to see where it kicks in and how it affects it. We'll try and level up here and just fly straight at this ridge. Just level it up. Yeah, we're coming up. Should get a little bit of sink here. Yep, down to 500 feet a minute nearly. Now we'll come onto this other side. Yeah, they're nearly up to 1,000 feet a minute climb rate, just picking up that where it's the wave coming over that ridge. Right, we'll come around and land at the hut now. Bit of a downdraft off there, where it must be quite a settling in into that valley. Turn downwind and try and land there. Just about pruning up that little bush. Right, we'll shut it down here and we'll call that it for this flight. Actually, before we shut down, while it's just cooling down, I'll just hop out and walk in the hut and see if we can actually walk in there. Actually, you won't be able to see anything with the dust. I'll turn it off. I'll shut the helicopter off. And I'll have to figure out how to shut this down properly, but I'll just turn all these off. Should do it. Just kill it as quick as I can. A little bit more. Try and kill most of that dust if we can. That's us. Alright, I'll hop out. Walk into the hut. Just turn the camera. Obviously I'll scan this one next time I'm there, so it'll be a bit more accurate. But yeah, just a quick flight. Well, probably took us 20 minutes or so, but yeah, I'll look at 2024 and just how cool it looks in the back country now. absolutely loving it. So I'll try and do some more videos when I get time. It may not be till after Christmas now, but until the next one, I'll catch you around.